Tonight on CTV News at 11:30, Northern Ontario stops to mourn the life of an officer killed in the line of duty.
It's really touched people, everyone, not only the member of the OPP, but the community.
Flags are now being lowered all around the region for Constable Taryn Bali. Plus, bittersweet, demo day arrives for the old hospital in Sault Ste. Marie.
It was hard work to get here. It was frustrating to get here. It took a long time.
City officials say they're looking forward to the new chapter. And the rain couldn't keep North Bay from celebrating the armed forces.
I want to see them do like a flip like turn around in the sky.
Lots of activities, including a farewell performance of sorts for the snowbirds.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Tony Rima with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for staying up with us. Northern Ontario continues to mourn tonight. Flags have been lowered to half-staff in communities from one end to the other as the province grieves the death of Constable Taryn Bali.
When we lose one of our own, we all do everything we can to come together, ensure justice is served, that we are supported as an organization, and our officers' families are supported.
Bali was killed yesterday while on duty in Hearst. At 29 years old, originally from Brampton, he's being remembered as a dedicated public servant and a perfect gentleman. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more tonight from Hearst and more on the man arrested in connection to his death.
Flags in the town of Hearst are lowered in honor of a police officer. 29-year-old Provincial Constable Taryn Bali died Tuesday afternoon after being struck by a vehicle while on duty. While assigned to the Dufferin OPP detachment, Bali was on a temporary deployment with the James Bay detachment in Hearst. Members of the James Bay OPP detachment were conducting an investigation in this area, Kendall Concession Road 7 and 6, when Bali was killed in the line of duty.
Officers were attempting to stop the vehicle, and in the process, one officer, PC Bali, was hit by the vehicle driven by the accused.
Police say an 18-year-old Hearst man has been charged with first-degree murder, dangerous operation causing death, flight from police, and several other offenses.
The accused remains in custody at this time. The next court date is on Wednesday, June 24th in Hearst.
The death has shaken the OPP community.
Our hearts are broken. It's a very difficult time, and just at the heels of Sergeant Malcolm as well, that was tragically lost just a little bit over a month ago.
Colleagues say Bali had been with the OPP for just 2.5 years.
He's described as a guy with the biggest smile, very passionate, hardworking, respected. He wanted to be a police officer since the age of 2 years old. That was always his dream.
Scott Mills of the Ontario Provincial Police Association says the loss to the policing community is great.
From everything that I've heard about Constable Bali is he was a perfect gentleman. He was extremely well liked by his colleagues and as well as the community.
Hearst Mayor Roger Seguin says the community is mourning alongside the officer's family.
It's really touched people, everyone, not only the member of the OPP, but the community. Those poor people, they're losing a son, 29 years old son, who wants to help in the community.
The OPP says it's working closely with the family on funeral arrangements, and a formal procession is expected in the coming days. The investigation remains ongoing. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Hearst.
And this was the scene in front of the Chief Coroner's office earlier today in Toronto. Grim-faced first responders lining the route. Bali's body was given a police escort down Highway 11 to the 400. Officers, paramedics, and firefighters providing a silent show of solidarity for the fallen officer in a moving demonstration of respect and brotherhood.
We're brothers and sisters in arms, for lack of better words. We all serve the public and the community together, so it's very important for the three of us to be here to honor our fallen.
According to the commissioner, the accused had fled from a hospital where he was being assessed under the Mental Health Act. Once again, 18-year-old Justin Verneau made a brief court appearance today. He'll next appear via video on June 24th. In other news, the long-awaited demolition of a noted Sue Ice store began today. Crews have started the exterior work at the old General Hospital as the city plans for redevelopment to the nearby waterfront. CTV's Corey Nordstrom reports.
Though grating, that sound rings like progress to those in Sault Ste. Marie. The demolition of the former General Hospital has been over 15 years in the making.
It was hard work to get here. It was frustrating to get here. It took a long time, took money. But we are going to get paid back in 6 to 12 years, and it's going to be a community asset instead of a community problem.
Before the demolition began, city officials toured the site where Green Infrastructure Partners, the building's owners, have removed 380 loads of debris, totaling over 4,000 tons since last fall.
They started in January, and there's been a team of anywhere from 7 to 20 people working inside that building and taking all the asbestos out and taking all the things that needed to be taken out to meet the proper demolition protocols.
Demolition of the old hospital is expected to finish by the fall, fulfilling its 12-month contract requirement. Next to complete for site owner GIP is a development master plan by year 3 and to apply for building permits within 5.
That will create a new community hub, I would say, on this waterfront area, reactivate the site. And from a city perspective, we'll see new tax assessment coming in, and we'll start to see, the redevelopment of this area, a big boost for the downtown.
Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
The wildfire threatening Matagami First Nation is holding at just over 3,100 hectares. The MNR says Timmins 9 sparked May 31st and required heavy aerial fire suppression early on. But for the last week, those tactics have not been needed. The wet weather overnight supported fire suppression and helped reduce the risk of new fires across the region.
Very good progress, even during the hot, dry weather. But now we have seen about 18 millimeters of rain overnight into Wednesday, and that will definitely help assist with the ongoing fire suppression efforts.
While the fire has not required crews from outside Ontario, 2 water bombers from Quebec were deployed to support. Meanwhile, the city of Timmins has lifted its fire ban. The ban was put in place June 4th due to high heat and dry conditions in the area. The Timmins Fire Department is reminding people that caution is still needed with open air burning. Never leave a fire unattended. Sudbury instituted a fire ban June 5th. That ban is still in effect. New tonight, some relief could be on the way for Timmins drivers. After teasing motorists that it would only be 400 meters, city officials announced later that they would be grinding and paving all of Lafleur Drive from Shirley Street to the bridge. The entire strip will have asphalt stripped and then re-added. No word yet on timelines. A youth support program in Sudbury that was on the verge of closing has been just thrown a lifeline. City Council has stepped in with emergency funding to keep operations running. CTV's Amanda Hicks reports.
Sudbury City Council voted in favor of approving $75,000 for a program called Aussie's Garage. The money comes from the city's tax rate stabilization reserve and will keep the funding secured through the end of 2026. Council says if third-party funding comes through later, the city will be reimbursed.
Let's get to individuals that may end up in this part of the system before they end up there. And again, it's a very small investment. The probability of federal funding coming in is pretty good, but just in case, we have the funding secured for the rest of the year.
The program works with at-risk youth between the ages of 13 and 19. It was founded by Rick Osborne and his wife Heather, who have been working with Sudbury District Restorative Justice to secure long-term funding.
Otherwise, we would have had to shut down for the summer and try to find support in the fall, and we would have lost the continuity of the young people we're working with.
Osborne says there is a gap in services for at-risk teens transitioning into adulthood.
We have a lot of agencies out here, but we have a few big gaps. And one of the big gaps is 18 years of age. You're on the street. You go to jail. So that's the demographic we're really looking at, is guys who have learning disabilities that are falling through, emotional problems that are falling through, and criminal problems.
Aussies currently operates out of a downtown hotel, but Perron says there have been talks with the developers of 30 St. Anne Road, which is being converted into a 135-unit supportive housing facility.
We're going to be working at transitioning from a current location, which is fairly costly, in order to reduce the cost, we're moving over to 30 St. Anne's in the next couple of weeks.
Also, Perron says the city's Parks and Recreation Department is planning a summer pilot program with Aussies Garage in the Ryan Heights area to offer youth hands-on experience working on motorbikes. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
It was a wet start to Armed Forces Day as the city of North Bay played host to the men and women of the Canadian military, thanking them for their service and sacrifice. CTV's Eric Tashner reports.
Zooming across the skies of North Bay, the Canadian Forces snowbirds delight the elated crowd with their formations and speed. It's the last season the team and jets will soar in their current iteration.
I want to see them do like a flip like turn around in the sky.
Every day they're just working to protect North American airspace. But today, the Canadian military personnel are celebrities.
I've been out of the city for about 10 years and back for about a month, and it's really great to get out here and be around the people.
Armed Forces Day is held annually to recognize the men and women of the Royal Canadian Air Force, U.S. Air Force, and civilians stationed at 22 Wing Canadian Forces Base, which has been in the city for 75 years.
It would not be the same. The city, listen, we embrace the armed forces. We embrace the people that serve in our armed forces, and they are part of our community.
The Skyhawks did not jump due to safety concerns regarding the rainy weather, but that didn't dampen the mood.
Strong and free.
A crowd of about 2,000 waving Canadian flags packed the waterfront, most of them students who, in school, have been learning about the military's role in Canadian security and sovereignty.
We've been learning about lots of world crises right now, the wars that are going on. I very enjoy learning about what's happening in this world.
I served all over. 2 tours in the Middle East. I served from 1967 to 1992. The kids are our future.
With face painting and a chance to try on heavy military gear and a gas mask, people were feeling patriotic.
I'm just happy that I can be here and see all of this.
Proving once again this city and its people are awfully proud of their nation's servicemen and women. Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
Very cool. Time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Tony will have our full weather forecast. For now, a look at the weather warnings we once again have in place tonight, and only one really to speak of in our area, and that is that in yellow. It's affecting Hearst and Kapuskasing, obviously the first event of the season, the heat event that is. Daytime highs are going to near 30 degrees overnight, lows of 18, but it is going to be humid. It's going to feel anywhere between 35 and 37 degrees, so make sure you stay cool, everyone. Moving over to current conditions, we've got 20 in Kapuskasing tonight, 21 in Timmins, 21 in Timiskaming Shores. Really warm this time of night. We're also seeing fog move its way in and out of North Bay, 20 in Sault Ste. Marie. Details after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Good evening, everyone. Now your main weather, and we are going to start with our forecast radar. Thunderstorms sweeping across the broadcast region in through Kapuskasing tomorrow morning. Here's this band of activity. It's going to sweep through. We'll get a little bit of clearing, especially east of Kapuskasing and through Timmins along with Timiskaming Shores. But look what's coming in. Guess what? More rain along with shower activity. A risk of thunderstorms, precipitation also going to be rather high. And then after, it's going to dissipate. The temperatures are going to kind of moderate a little bit. They're going to drop, which will bring much needed relief. Now let's take a look at your 7-day weather forecast, starting with Sudbury, Nickel Belt. Tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms still on the warm side. 28 degrees. Friday, the rain continues. Saturday, we start to get some clearing. Sunday, temperature drops, ticks up a little bit. Monday, a little bit more cloud cover. And look at Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, almost spot on temperature-wise. For Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, risk of thunderstorms. I put the sun in there because there will be some clearing. However, rain along with thunderstorms, the rain persists much like that. That's the pattern. Sun, cloud, rain, risk of thunderstorms. Temperatures drops a little bit on Sunday, and then next week, not all that bad, slightly below normal. Should be 21, 19, and 17 on the board. In through Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, risk of thunderstorms tomorrow, 30. So add the humidex and it'll feel like 34, 35 degrees Celsius. The rain persists for the weekend. Look at Sunday, 15 degrees. Next week, overcast skies, a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday. For Timiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, risk of thunderstorms, going to be soggy right through the weekend. Monday, we start to get a break. 19 should be about 21. And it's not all that bad. So a little bit more sunshine on Wednesday. And finally, folks, your 7-day weather forecast for North Bay, West Nipissing. Tomorrow, risk of thunderstorms, 28 degrees. Add the humidex, it'll feel like 32. Pretty humid, muggy out there. The rain persists for the weekend. We start to get a few sunny breaks in there. Some relief temperature-wise on Sunday, 19 degrees. Monday, 18, and not all that bad. 20 degrees when it should be 21 degrees this time of year. In Campbell, it's back over to you.
Thanks for this, Tony. And just a quick programming note to let you know about FIFA coverage begins on CTV starting tomorrow, and it will impact our 5 p.m. news programming on Friday and Thursday, but we will be joining you right after for a 6 p.m. newscast. As always, everything we do is available online at ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and TSN is bringing you all the action. CTV's Andrea Case went behind the scenes to show you how the network is working to bring you nonstop coverage.
The hard work never stops. Team Canada's men's national soccer team's road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup has been years in the making. The same could be said for the team at TSN, led by executive producer Ken Bolden.
Year and a half before Qatar, so 5.5 years.
The Saskatoon native has been at TSN for 3 decades.
Was always passionate about sports, grew up playing every sport, but realized fairly soon that this was not going to be, like most people, it was not going to be my calling, but loved it. But also I think sports is a great palette to tell human stories.
From Toronto to Vancouver, from a real set to a virtual set, technology plays a huge part in TSN's coverage of FIFA World Cup.
104 games. To put in context, the Qatar World Cup was 64 games total. And at 64 games, we're going to still be in the group stage. So it is a massive undertaking. For most of the group stage, we have 4 games a day. Some starting as early as 12 noon, some starting as late as 12 midnight Eastern. So we have multiple crews working in operations and our editorial crews. But yeah, it's buckle up time. It's long haul.
No pressure?
Yeah, there's pressure. It's awesome. No, I think we're all nervous, and I think that's a good thing. It makes us sharp and something that is different. This is different, and so I think we embrace that.
Tune in to TSN, Crave, and CTV for all the excitement. Andrea Case, CTV News.
June is National Indigenous History Month in Canada, and today, Greater Sudbury Police Service launched the 2026 Truth and Reconciliation Relay, marking the 5th year since its inception. Organizers say it's a symbolic event that serves as a catalyst for reflection, learning, and solidarity. CTV's Lindsay Alick reports.
We're looking now at not reconciliation, but reconciliation.
Constable Anik Denis and her partner, Katrina Pinawanaquit, started the relay as a Greater Sudbury Police internal initiative in 2022. It's been expanding ever since.
Everything starts somewhere, but just to get to the 5th year is absolutely amazing, and then to see how many people are joining year after year, it makes it feel a little bit more impactful.
Participants are invited to watch educational videos, read through the calls to action, and select one that resonates with them personally.
Our interpretation of different calls to action might be different from person to person, but we're really encouraging organizations to hone in and focus on one call to action that as a collective they can work towards.
Then for the month of September, participants log kilometers, running, swimming, or walking, taking the time to reflect on what they learned.
Same goal this year, so it is still 150,000 kilometers. Last year we didn't hit it, but I think that I think it's appropriate that we don't hit it, because when we look at the changes that still need to be done, we just look at very recently how Sudbury went under a boil water advisory. There are communities up north that have long-standing boil water advisories, so I don't even think that it would be appropriate for us to hit our target, because reconciliation work and work that is still left to be done is so vast.
Are there any agencies here saying they're going to take it?
The organization with the most kilometers receives the Championing Change paddle. Adam Demers is a patrol staff sergeant with GSPS. Last year, he clocked just shy of 500 kilometers and placed second overall.
I had some holidays, so I was off, had the kids involved, cycling, walking, we did some swimming, a lot of outdoor stuff.
Last year, 300 participants from over 20, mostly local organizations, participated in the event. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Some good news when it comes to veterans and first responders housing. An organization that looks to fill need for support is working to open a multi-level complex in Greater Sudbury. CTV's Madison Merrier reports.
My pension was a good pension for 2008. Fast forward now to today's 2026.
What started as a typical Sunday veterans meeting turned into an affordable housing project to address the concerns many veterans face.
There's 60 units altogether. Sort of first dibs, if you will go to the 10 or 12 that we recently housed. It's important to have good financial secure location for veterans. Mental health is the top of the issue. Let's have some secure housing so that we can take care of all the other things and not have to worry about where to live.
Jensen with the group Veteran and First Responder Housing says surveys and meetings have helped determine the resources needed for the proposed build, like mental health supports for all of the 7 groups of first responders.
The 3 obvious ones are paramedics, firefighters, and police, as well as veterans, but 911 operators, nurses, and corrections as well. So there's 7 altogether. Not to say that others that aren't in a frontline role under the same sort of adverse conditions and anxiety producing and PTSD producing environments.
While he says local fundraising has been helpful, the build is estimated at $25 million, which is why the group is hoping to gain federal funding and get shovels in the ground this fall. In a statement to CTV News, Sudbury MP Vivian Lapointe said, the federal government has created funding streams to help organizations access the necessary capital they need to build affordable housing. As this project moves through the planning phases, I will work alongside the group to advocate for the funding needed to get this built. Jensen says there are around 4,000 soldiers across Canada who are living near homelessness or who are homeless. So he's hoping the proposed building can be replicated across Canada. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News. A Northern Ontario welcome for a Waterloo family visiting their cottage. More on that story after this. The federal government is officially moving to ban kids under the age of 16 from social media. The measure was introduced in online safety legislation tabled today. The bill doesn't say how platforms would have to verify age. In addition to the ban, the legislation would also regulate platforms and companies behind AI chatbots by requiring them to act responsibly. That would include measures such as crisis intervention protocols. The government says this is about protecting children online. Finally for us tonight, a magical moment for a family from Waterloo. They got to see some truly northern wildlife at their cottage in Sundridge. CTV's Angela Gemmell has more on their moosing experience.
Me. What do we do? The Ninneber family was enjoying an evening at their cottage on Bernard Lake near Sundridge when this mama and baby moose wandered up from the water.
Really special. Like, people don't just see moose on the lake.
And it's like, yeah, to see the wild, like, let alone coming into your backyard like that. I mean, it doesn't happen for a lot of people, so we're pretty grateful for that.
Jessica says she saw the mama moose first and called her husband, who'd been swimming about 20 feet away. That's when the calf came in sight. The couple's 2 older children were still awake and came outside to check out the wildlife firsthand.
Oh, they talked about it, like, they about it nonstop. And then the funny thing is, though, when our second youngest woke up, they're trying to tell him about the moose, and he's like, what? Like, what do you mean there's a moose in the yard?
Both call it a surreal experience that the family won't soon forget.
Yeah, the sunset, and also the moose in between. And I'm like, how did this happen? So it just really just catches you off guard. You're not expecting that.
The couple say they've owned the cottage for the past 5 years and joke that the listing didn't include all the wildlife they'd be able to get up close to.
We saw porcupine the other night. I think deer maybe 3 times in the 5 years.
The winter.
Yeah.
On the lake, they'll walk over.
The Ninevehs say the response to the video online has been positive, with many commenting the animals recognized a fellow mom in Jessica and knew they were in a safe place. Angela Gamble, CTV News, Sudbury.
That'll give those kids something to talk about in class. That takes us to the end of our newscast this Wednesday night. For the latest news anytime, remember you can head to our website, ctvnewsnorthernontario.ca. You can also download our CTV News app. Thanks for watching. Good night.